Hello, my name is Jade Pamatz, and I did my primary source on the Declaration of Sentiments. It was written by Elizabeth Cady Stanton at the first convention ever to discuss the civil and political rights of women on July 19th through the 20th, 1848. This convention was held in Seneca Falls, New York. The Declaration of Sentiments was influenced by the Declaration of Independence, using a lot of the same wording. However, instead of talking about separating from King George's rule, it talks about the power men have over women and the hypocrisies in the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration of Sentiments was created to formally highlight and protest the inequalities faced by women in American society and to call for social and legal reforms. This was presented at the Seneca Falls Convention, and the document was meant to raise awareness of the injustices women experience, such as lack of voting rights, limited property rights, and restricted education and employment. By making this in the structure of the Declaration of Independence, it emphasized that women are also entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This approach linked women's rights to fundamental American ideals of equality and justice. At the convention, attendees discussed, edited, and approved the document, with both men and women signing it in support. At the Seneca Falls Convention, this marked the beginning of the organized women's rights movement in the United States. As Americans began buying more goods in stores instead of making them at home, a new social ideal emerged. Women did not have to work because they were seen as a higher class. This overlooked how women still worked hard at home, but it became a marker of wealth and status, only attainable for richer families. This kicked women further into the domestic sphere, where they were seen as subservient and an extension of their husband. Women who wanted to be in the public sphere would have to get creative. Even though women couldn't vote or hold public office, they still influenced politics by shaping social connections and supporting political alliances. Women in Washington, D.C. helped hold the political community together by hosting events, building networks, and fostering connections among politicians. The Declaration of Sentiments highlighted these problems by talking about the power over men had over women. To create a better society, women should have to have the same rights as men. It was the first formal document to demand equal rights for women in the United States. It was signed by 68 women and 32 men, which allowed the government to take it more seriously. They fought for what they thought was gender discrimination and wrote about many of the problems and even offered solutions to these problems. They wanted women and men to be held to the same moral standards. The principles of the revolution wanted everyone to have freedom and the same natural rights. However, they looked past many different groups of people. Not only women, but slaves and Native Americans had to fight for their natural rights that was promised to everyone in the Declaration of Independence. Unfortunately, due to the Civil War, race discrimination overshadowed gender discrimination. However, these papers from the Seneca Falls Convention helped future advocates to fight for their rights after the Civil War. This would eventually lead to more women standing up for their rights and eventually women getting the right to vote and equality.